This is a short video to show you how to create and edit a website for your BNI chapter. This is done from the BNI website itself. You'll need to log in using your usual username and password, and you will need to be a member of the leadership team if the chapter website has not yet been created. Click on the Members section and scroll to the bottom of the Leadership Team options. Click on Chapter Website. This will bring up a login screen to the CMS or Content Management System, and here you log in using the same username and password as you do usually for the BNI website. When you first create a BNI website, there are a number of things you need to do, and one of the first of those is to set a name or URL or a domain name for your website. Now, if you've been to an ISP and purchased a name, or if you've been to a domain registry and purchased a name for your website, enter it here. It still needs to be linked to your chapter website, and the instructions for doing that are here. Don't worry if they don't make any sense to you. Pass those on to your IT support person or your internet service provider, who will know what to do to link the name to your chapter website. Now, every chapter website gets a free URL. Now, the free URLs all end in .bnisite.com, and all you have to do to create one of those is to put a keyword, something that describes your chapter, for example, in this case the word Shire, into this box, and that will automatically create a URL of www.shire.bnisite.com. The language of your website is very important. The different BNI regions of the software use different languages, and it is important to match yours to the correct language for your region. You may not be the person who's going to edit the website on an ongoing basis. If you'd like to select another member of your chapter to be the ongoing website editor, simply select them from a drop-down list of your chapter members. The title of your website is what appears at the top of the browser. The description and the keywords or meta tags are what help people find your website on the internet. So enter appropriate keywords and a good description of your chapter. It's essential, if you've made any changes to your chapter website, and particularly before you change page, to click on Save to save the information. Editing the content of a page is very simple. Simply select the page you want to edit from the menu on the left-hand bar, and when the page loads, you can simply start typing directly on the page and editing the text that's there. First of all, I might select a template from one of the predefined templates that can be used for pages. Some of them are specific to some pages. For example, there is a template for About BNI. If I select that, it automatically creates a suitable template for this page. But I can edit this in any way I like, simply by clicking on the page and to start typing text into the appropriate boxes. There's a variety of tools similar to the tools you'll find in a word processor. Your bold, for example, italic, bold, underline, color, highlight, and a variety of other tools. For a full description of these tools, click on the Help button, which will give you a list of what each of the tools does. I do need to talk about a couple of them though. One is the hyperlink. To create a hyperlink, which might be a link to a website or it might be a link to somebody's email address. That's very simple. Simply type what you want to link to on the page. For example, I'll put a link into Google. I type Google, I select that text, and I click on this chain, or the link from a chain, hyperlink. That is the hyperlink insertion panel. Having brought that up, I type in the address I want to link to, in this case Google, and I'll select what type of link it is. Now, Google, of course, is simply a web link. It's HTTP, which means a place on the internet. Say OK to that, and that's created a hyperlink on your page. If I wanted to set an email link, it's exactly the same process. Type the text you want the link to display, select it, hyperlink, type in the address, and in this case select Mail To as the link. This here is now linked to a website. This here will bring up an email page. Please have a play around with the different tools and find what other things you can do. The other one I do need to show you is the picture tool. The image gallery is this here. If you click on that, it brings up a list of all the images that are currently on the page. or that are currently uploaded to the site, I should say. By clicking on one of those images, it immediately adds it to your page. You can then resize it, move it around where you want it. Basically edit it as if it was in a word processor, and remembering always to save your changes once you've finished. To add an image to the image gallery so that you can use it on your chapter site, simply go back to the image gallery, find that photo on your own computer hard disk, and upload it to the image gallery. As soon as it's uploaded, it's ready for use within your chapter website. If we look at the home page, we'll find there's not one editing box on this page, but two. The reason for this is there's two sections to the home page. There is the banner section at the top of the page and the main content of the page. Now, both of these work the same way. Obviously, the main content, you have some templates for those, and you can edit that whichever way you like. The banner for the page, the part that runs across the top, has its own templates, and you can try some of the different styles that we've predetermined for you, or you can create your own template from scratch and save that as the header for your page. Now, at any stage you can look at what the site will be like once it's finished by clicking on View Site. While you have full control over many of the pages in your chapter site, there are some pages which are driven by the underlying database that drives the BNI site itself, and these pages are not editable. Other pages are a mixture of database content and content that you manage. An example of a database-driven page is the Our Members page. Now, this page is created automatically and is not editable by you. What it is, it's a list of all the members in your chapter, and it's created by the database from the BNI main database, so you don't need to update it constantly. An example of a page which is partly database-driven and partly controlled by you is the Show Me the Money page. Now, on this page you can type whatever you like and edit in any way the top section of the page here using the editor. The second section of the page you have some control over. You can choose which of these things you would like to display on your website. The number of referrals this year, the referral value this year, the referral value since charter, number of referrals since charter. You can choose which of those is going to be important on your chapter site. Another page which you have some control over is the speakers page. Now, up here I can type any information that I want about this week's speaker, but another part of the page which I can't control is a speaker list. Now, this is drawn automatically from the speaker roster from the BNI database. There are a few slightly more advanced features in the chapter site software. One of them is the location of the menu. If I look at the current state for this site, I'll see that the menu is down the left hand side. I can select that to be at the top in a bar across the top from here, top horizontal menu. If I save that and view the site now, you'll see that the menu bar has shifted to a line across the top. Another advanced feature of the site is the ability to edit the style of your chapter website by directly editing the CSS, or Cascading Style Sheets. Now, if you're not familiar with web development, you might want to leave this one alone. If you have someone in your chapter who is a web developer, they should be able to assist you with this. If you do edit this and the site looks ugly and wrong and you'd like to take it back to the way it was, choose the template and go back to default CSS, and that will reset it to the way it was. That's about all there is to it. Once you've finished your site and completed editing your site, it won't immediately be available on the internet. You will have to request approval from your BNI region. There's a button to do that. Click on Request BNI Approval, type a comment if you'd like, and a request form will automatically be sent to your BNI Regional Director asking for them to look at your site, confirm that it conforms with BNI policies and BNI branding, and if it does, then they'll make that site live.